So let's talk about quieting the mind and why. So quieting the mind has a ton of benefits. I don't know if you guys have ever read anything or seen a video on how meditation changes the brain when they've taken Buddhist monks and put them under MRIs and how differently and more integrated the brain works and how it fires rather than like normal consciousness. But in terms of magic and manifesting basically on a daily basis, meditation and quieting the mind has a ton of benefits. Now, when I mention manifesting on a daily basis, magic isn't just when we do rituals and spells and whatnot. Magic definitely is something that we can be doing consciously and even subconsciously all the time. Every time that we want to make something happen and we do it, like I'm going to go and grab this cup and I grab this cup, up to I want a conversation to go this way and then it goes that way. That's your willpower exercising itself, and theoretically the energies that we send out and then we get what we send out. So effectively we and theoretically we are working magic all the time. So also when it comes to working with spirits and invocation and evocation, and then even listening to our own inner voice, our intuition, quieting the mind is essential. Whether you believe in magic as being from a spiritual model where there's stuff outside of us, or an energetic model where we send our energy out and then we get stuff back, or purely a psychological model where magic is really just I'm telling my subconscious all to make all this stuff happen, and then I'm guided to making those things happen by my subconscious. All of that applies. So when we're talking quieting the mind, we're talking about metacognition. We're talking about meditating so we can get a grasp on this is how my brain works, right? So when we're meditating and we're counting our breaths like 1, 2, 1, 2, in, out, then the brain goes somewhere because you're thinking about what you want for dinner or something and you bring it back. You're training your mind that you are tracking what it's doing and you can change where the attention goes. So then when we're just focusing on our breathing, basically, how do I put this? Your brain gets bored. When you are quieting your mind and you're going in, out, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you're thinking about dinner, that's because your brain got bored and it's looking for something else to do. It's the same kind of thing when we're gazing into a crystal ball or a mirror and then we start to see stuff. It's because your brain gets bored, so it starts to pull from other things, from your subconscious, from theoretically, from the energetics around you when you can sense a spirit. So when we're trying to work an invocation or evocation, when we have our mind quieted because we've trained ourselves with meditation, that allows that free mental space that we're not thinking up, work, home, TV, bed, in order for a spirit to communicate through us. Because spirits do communicate through, bumping something or a synchronistic coincidence, such as a train horn or something like that, but also through imagery and words that come up through our subconscious. Theoretically, they come from them out there and then they come up through our subconscious. Or, psychologically speaking, they could just come up from our subconscious, whether we're working with arguably spirits or our deep subconscious mind. Depends on what model you follow. The biggest thing here is quieting your mind is essential because, all right, so I talked about the spirits and invocation and stuff. Then think about this. I talked about manifesting all the time and working magic all the time because your willpower allows you to create things and situations and whatnot that you want. Well, how do you keep track of where your thoughts and willpower are going? Quieting your mind. Metacognition. What am I thinking about? What am I wanting to happen? What am I focusing on? Where am I looking? How is my stance? What am I thinking about? Stuff like that. That's all metacognition. So you can walk the walk and talk the talk and make what you want to have happen. If your mind is quiet and you're not worried about something or you're wondering how the conversation goes, you're not being too overly critical and stuff as it's happening, you're more like in the flow, right? Then you're able to notice, like for example, someone's posture, what they're saying, you might get an inkling of what their words really mean. Your subconscious will speak up about, say this instead, or oh, look at the way that they're standing. This posture indicates blah 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 blah. You're going to start to get those little inklings and those little hints that come in from your subconscious or from a helpful spirit and or both. So quieting your mind allows that antenna that I talk about a lot to go, basically all the way up so you can get all the information that you need to then act on it. So quieting your mind not only allows you to take in more information and notice more information, but it allows you to work with that information and respond much faster and more consciously than subconsciously. Because I know I've mentioned this before, a good chunk of what we do is subconscious. And when we're metacognitive and we have our mind quieted, then that ratio of like 90% subconscious and 10% conscious gets more 80% subconscious and 20% conscious. And then, 70 and 30 and 60 and 40. The point is, we are more present, we are thinking more, we're able to take action more, we're able to notice things more, and therefore we're able to act on them more. And magic with acting in a chord, you have your intention, you might have done some spell work, and now you're acting in a chord to get what you want. This allows another level up of being able to get what you want, arguably much more effective and much faster, given that you are noticing all the opportunities and you have the full picture. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. You can always shoot me an email, whatnot. You can find all that stuff at the end of this video. And I also have my Udemy classes, which I've got a ton on there. There's a quick link to all of my classes down in the description if you want to learn deeper and learn more from me. Good hunting. Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of magical theater and magical mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting!